Hey, welcome back to the Mobility Project. Here's what we've got going on today. We are working on improving hip flexion. And a lot of times we keep talking about that when we have an athlete's missing hip flexion, what we'll see is at the bottom of the squat, the hip flexor running into the kind of pelvis runs out of room. It's like putting a fist here and literally blocking the range. And we see a lot of athletes who don't actively or passively unimpinge their hip. We see them kind of run out of space. What ends up happening is I can continue to get down by using my psoas and using that psoas trunk flexor and pull myself from trunk to pelvis, or trunk to femur rather. So I block and I'm like, oh, I still can get down, and now I've overextended from the inside through my back. So here's what we're gonna do. Kind of do some basic pelvic distraction. We're gonna work on this in a couple different directions. The first one, my absolute favorite right now, I get load up as much as I can. That is a huge amount of band tension. And I'm gonna feather back and forth, touch that high hamstring, hit it a couple times. I'm gonna try to literally get about 2 minutes, and I'm just gonna keep flossing. It's the distraction in the back of the hip that makes the difference. This is not a stretch. This is moving tissues at a position of emphasis. It's a big difference, okay? 2 minutes aside. Then, I'm gonna come in, wind that up in flexion, get some approximation to the back of the hip here, and then I'm gonna fold forward and let that hip get pulled backwards. Very different feeling because I get the hip driving to the back at a little bit different angle, and I can push into these corners. So usually we do a big hip distraction here, going straight to the back of the socket. You might even feel a little burn back here. Hang out. Then we're gonna go lateral distraction. Put that thing over next to rotation and press into those corners. So wind that thing up super tight and then just hang out, oscillate into that ray. So about 6 minutes per piece, working on different aspects. And then your test retest, whoa, squatting in circles. It's so easy to get the leg out. That's not an exaggeration. It takes that quick to make changes in the capsule. We'll use that band to make that big change. This is options. This is power. This gives me a lot more room when I go overhead to receive. Take a look. We'll see you guys tomorrow.